So fly out to left and a strikeout by Donner, and now up is Gracie Emerson, the DP. Takes a look at that first pitch across for a strike. Well, that strike zone is up today as Springfield has went for a couple of low pitches, not been able to get them, so almost a hitter's strike zone this afternoon. That pitch fouled back off the head of Conley, the umpire looking for it, and actually went over the backstop and out of play. So good job by the home plate umpire to come up and walk the ball out to Springfield, dust off the plate, and give Conley a chance to kind of collect herself. Conley, a freshman out of Louisiana. I believe I saw her dad say on Twitter that they were going to come up and watch the games this afternoon in Fulton. So making the trip up, and Raphael saying, yeah, they're here. So I know that's going to be a good sense of feeling for Samantha because she don't get a chance to go home that often. And getting their family to come up here and see her. Of course, they were watching earlier this week on Let'sGoICCTV.com along with the rest of you here this afternoon. We're scoreless. There's 2 outs, and the count is 1-2 here on the DP, Gracie Emerson. Springfield taking her time, now getting set to deliver. 1-2 pitch on its way. Foul back, and we'll stay at 1-2. Nice at bat right now by Emerson. Got a wave over there, so I don't know if they're listening to us or maybe somebody calling saying that they're listening. Actually, he's listening to the play-by-play down there on the side, so appreciate them listening in here while at the ballpark. Line drive, and it's a hop over the glove of JoJo Vasquez, and that could be a 2-out double. No, nice job by Hannah Williams quickly getting down the line that time to cut that one off and keep that a single. That was just one of those tough luck bounces for the Lady Indians, as JoJo did a great job diving to her non-glove side to try to get a glove on it that time. But instead, it just took a bad hop and got into the outfield. So that's going to be a 2-out single by Gracie Emerson. And now what will be the pitcher, Kristen Young. So Young trying to spark a 2-out rally here for the Generals. We're in the top of the first. No score, 2 outs and a runner. On first, that's Gracie Emerson, the DP. Pitch across for a strike. I don't even know if JoJo that time would have been able to get a glove on the ball if she would have been able to get her out, as Emerson did show off pretty good speed getting down the baseline. So 0-1 is the count here. Pitch coming from Springfield. Couldn't catch up with the high heat. The snap throw down to first, not in time. Now the count goes 0-2. Good quick throw down to first that time. Made it a lot closer than the base runner anticipated, as Conley didn't hesitate and just snapped that one down the line in a hurry. So 0-2 is the count here on Kristen Young. Her first at bat of the afternoon. Can really help her own cause here with a base hit. 0-2 pitch coming from Springfield. That pitch high for a ball. Couldn't get her to chase another one out of the zone. 1-2 now goes the count. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on first here in the top of the first for Jackson State. Springfield looking to get out of this inning with no damage done. And she does so. Swinging strike 3. That is the second strikeout of the inning, brought to you by Little Caesars here in Fulton and ICC. Or excuse me, I should say Jackson State. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Remind you, when you're coming through Fulton, go by Little Caesars and get a hot and ready pizza for only $5. We're going to step away and take a break and come back with more of this contest between ICC and Jackson State right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Itawamba Community College presents the 22nd Annual Bluegrass and Gospel Concert benefiting the ICC Foundation on Saturday, March 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. This year's performers include the Isaacs, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Aaron Wilburn, Christy Miller, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. $20 general admission and $30 reserved seating can be purchased online at iccms.edu/concert. Doors open at 2, music starts at 4. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 862-8039. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on Saturday, March 3rd in Fulton.
Ever since you got that license, you've been on the move. We get it. With Student Checking, we have the tools to keep you going. Take care of that check from grandma without stopping at the bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And we'll even pay you back for ATM fees. So keep on going, and we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You saw a few sponsors there for today's contest. Between the first inning and second inning, we'll try to introduce you to not today's starting lineup, but to the lineup for ICC's Lady Indians this season. So it'll be the 1-2-3 batters due up here for ICC, and it'll be Hannah Williams, the left fielder, leading things off here for the Indians. Williams stands in, takes that first pitch high and outside for a ball. Take a look at Hannah Williams. She bats left, throws right. She's an outfielder, sophomore out of Philadelphia, Mississippi. She went to Neshoba Central High School. That pitch across for a strike, evens the count now at 1-1. But as we said, the strike zone up a little bit today. So it's going to be a hitter's strike zone indeed. Williams swings on this one, fouls it back, out of play. 1-2 now goes the count here on Hannah. For just now joining us, ICC gave up one hit in the top of the first, but a pair of strikeouts by Bailey Springfield. As there's a ground ball right back to the pitcher. Hannah Williams tossed out, score that 1-3 for those of you scoring at home. But to go back and recap the top of the first, it was Allie Turner who started the game with a laser, not really a laser, just kind of a dart out to left field that was caught by Hannah Williams. Then Michelle Donner struck out a single by Gracie Emerson, and then a strikeout by Kristen Young. And that rounded out the top of the first there. Missed that pitch. It was caught a ball. And that one missing inside for a ball. Ooh, good-looking pitch that time. As Zate Raphael pointed out a good point where the umpire is setting up today. Can't really see those pitches coming across the plate. And that pitch across for a strike. Now the count goes 2-1 here on Sam Conley. Samantha, a freshman. She's out of Mandeville, Louisiana. And there's a shot. And just foul. Boy, I tell you what. That one was just inches foul down the line and left. If that one stays fair, she's got a chance to for sure get a double, maybe even flirt with a triple the way the ball was running away from the left fielder. So that evens up the count now at 2-2. Wind not as strong as it was the other day, now blowing more into the ballpark from right center. Conley watches that changeup fall off the table a little too soon, and now the count goes full here for the freshman. So waiting the 3-2 pitch here from Kristen Young. And it's low and gets away. And we'll see if Conley, she's going to take a peek back, but will stay at first base. And so that will be a one-out walk issued there to Samantha Conley. Conley, the catcher. But it looks like they're going to elect to keep Conley on the base. She's got pretty good speed. So now this is going to be Meg Sullivan, the DP, digging in here with one out and a runner on first. We're scoreless in the bottom of the first. That pitch across for a strike. 0-1 now is the count here on Meg Sullivan. Meg Sullivan, listed as an outfielder, has DP'd in the first series here in the Game 1 of the second series of the year. She's DPing as well. She's out of Springville, Alabama, Went to Springville High School. That pitch missing high and outside. Evens up the count now at 1-1. Well, no basketball coming your way in the first part of next week, but Monday we'll be starting a live talk show on the Red Channel. Here's a shot going back to the wall. See you later. Meg Sullivan with the first home run of the season for the Indians, and it's a 2-run shot. A no-doubter there for the sophomore out of Springville. And that's what the Indians wanted. They wanted a little bit of a quick start, much like they did earlier in the week. And that's a 2-run shot there.
McKenzie to Piper.
And the Indians take a 2-0 lead here. And now this will be McKenzie Piper coming to the plate with nobody on and 1 out. Piper takes a look at that pitch, low for a ball. That's what we said. The way the umpire is calling this, that strike zone is not right at the knees. It's a little bit up at the knees. So pitchers are going to have to work high today, and players like Meg Sullivan can make you pay, and she did just that. Piper takes a look at that one, across for a strike, shakes her head yes. And now the count evens up at 1-1. Piper holds off on that one. I believe that should be ball 2. 2-1 now is the count here on Piper. So the 2-1 pitch coming. Piper rips one, and that's going to be out to left field. It's going to drop for a base hit. So back-to-back hits for the Indians, and ICC's bats trying to warm up early here. A single out to left, and Piper will reach, and that will bring up Bailey Springfield.
Number 21, Bailey Springfield.
Springfield, the pitcher here in game 1, could really help her own cause here with a base hit. Got a 2-run home run just 2 batters before by Meg Sullivan, and the Indians lead it 2-0 here. We're in the bottom of the first. That pitch across for a strike. Snap throw down to first, not in time, nearly threw that one into the right field, so Piper, flirting with disaster over there at first, was able to get underneath the tag. So 0-1 is the count here. Shows bunt, lays it down. Third baseman reacting. Second baseman not getting over in time. The ball gets away. Springfield will head to second. And I'm going to have to call that a base hit because I don't think the second baseman was covering in enough time to get that one.
Number 2, JoJo Vasquez.
So time is going to be taken here by the Jackson State coach, wanting to come in and try to settle down his girls here in this situation and talk things over here, and probably a good coaching moment here for the Jackson State coach, saying, look, this is what we've got to do in those situations. You've got to know where to go and go there in a hurry, because the second baseman, a little hesitant to react to get over the first. If she gets there, would have been a bang-bang play, all in the opinion of the umpire, but looks like Springfield was there because Bailey's got pretty good speed to get down that first baseline. We do want to remind you, though, as we were talking about earlier, Monday we'll start having a live sports show on letsgoicctv.com/red starting at noon each Monday. We're going to take and not do your typical sports show. It's going to be kind of an inside look at ICC athletics, but not your traditional look at things. We're going to go talk to Coach Sean Cannon about National Signing Day, but kind of behind the scenes of what makes National Signing Day go, what makes the coaches go, and how it affects their families. Also, we'll have a rapid-fire question section to get to know our athletes as well. And we're also going to have Dr. Jay Allen as our first guest to talk about the ICC athletics and his vision going forward. That pitch for a ball, as this is going to be JoJo Vasquez now at the plate. So that'll be each Monday at 12 on letsgoicctv.com/red. Vasquez, grounder to the shortstop. That'll get one out, but it will get a run across. They're going to try to throw it across the way, and Springfield slides in safely. So an RBI ground out by Vasquez. And Springfield able to advance to third. And now to bring up the right fielder, Brittany Adams. So the Indians get 3 runs on the board. Here in the bottom of the first, they lead it 3-0. That pitch missing outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. 3-0, ICC with the lead. Adams fouls this one out of play. 1-1 now goes the count. Brittany Adams, she's a sophomore. She was on the team last year, but an injury kept her from playing, so she actually technically could be called a redshirt sophomore, but is listed as a sophomore. Still has 3 years of eligibility. And there's a ground ball to the shortstop. Gloves it, throws it across the way, and it's off the line. And the error will allow the run to score. E6 on the throw. And Springfield gets home, and ICC now leads it 4-0.
Number 9, Madison Carnes.
Now up will be the sophomore Madison Carnes. Madison playing second base. She's a sophomore out of Ecru. So that pitch missing low for a ball. She went to North Pontotoc High School. Former Lady Viking. Bronson, that where you from? So Bronson, one of the managers up here, said you better make sure you mention North Pontotoc, and I did. One of my good friends used to coach at North Pontotoc, actually is a umpire as well now, Coach Shane Montgomery. Former basketball, softball coach out there at North Pontotoc. That pitch high, runner goes, throw down is not in time. It's going to be a stolen base for Brittany Adams. So now the Indians with a runner in scoring position. Good call on the pitch that time. Looked like a kind of a pitch out to go high in the zone. One, to see if you can get the batter to chase. She did not, and then also get a throw down to second. 3-0 is the count here to Madison Carnes. 4-0 ICC with the lead. That pitch inside. Wow, called a strike. Guess just didn't want to put her on base with 4 straight pitches. So 3-1 now is the count here on Carnes. And that went inside. Carbon copy of the last one, and now the count goes full at 3-2. This is the 8th batter of the inning here for the Indians. 3-2 is the count. And Carnes had to chase that inside pitch and misses it for strike 3. But the Indians get 4 runs on 3 hits, 1 error. They lead it 4-0 after 1. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Let's let you meet this year's squad here for ICC. And now, please redirect your attention to the floor as we introduce members of the 2018 ICC softball team.
Madison Walton, freshman outfielder, Morville, Mississippi.
Joanna Vasquez, freshman infielder, South Haven, Mississippi.
Olivia Burns, freshman pitcher, Grenada, Mississippi.
Rachel Stranisha, freshman infielder, Olive Branch, Mississippi.
Corey Childs, sophomore outfielder, Newside, Mississippi.
Haley Reed, sophomore infielder, Batesville, Mississippi.
Madison Carnes, sophomore infielder, Pontotoc, Mississippi.
Hannah Williams, sophomore outfielder, Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Samantha Conley, freshman infielder, Mandeville, Louisiana.
Lily Moore, freshman outfielder, Fulton, Mississippi. Abigail Colvin, freshman pitcher, Macon, Mississippi.
Meg Sullivan, sophomore outfielder, Springville, Alabama.
Mackenzie Toombs, freshman pitcher, Ackerman, Mississippi.
Mackenzie Piper, sophomore infielder, Pell City, Alabama. Brittany Adams, sophomore outfielder, Nielsen, Mississippi.
Bailey Springfield, sophomore pitcher, Manatee, Mississippi.
Shelby Newsom, sophomore infielder, Cleveland, Mississippi.
Kelsey Yates, sophomore catcher, Yazoo City, Mississippi.
Macy Cox, freshman utility player, Troy, Tennessee.
Managers for this year's softball team are Noah Bryant and Jessica Rogers. The Indians are coached by Andy Kirk, and he is a... And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen. As Just a little hiccup on that. I actually forgot that was not the one I edited. Was wanting to play. It was actually the one we played when we introduced the teams on the floor during basketball season. So there you go. Either way it goes now, ICC leads it 4-0. And a big inning there for the Indians.
Number 25, Holly Pratt.
And now to be the 5, 6, 7 batters due up here. Holly Pratt to lead things off here for Jackson State. Springfield's pitch misses outside and high for a ball. And that pitch missing low for a ball. Trying to update Twitter. And that pitch across for a strike. So waiting the pitch here from Springfield. 2-1 pitch coming. Swung on and missed. Evens the count now at 2-2. So 2-2 is the count. No outs as this is the first batter here in the top of the second inning. Springfield taking her time now, getting set to deliver. This pitch popped up. Trouble. Springfield comes over and makes a play in foul territory. Nicely done that time by Bailey Springfield. Able to come over and get the put out. Also looked like Mackenzie Piper and Sam Conley both closing in on that one in a hurry. Had an opportunity to get to that one there.
Madison Ellis.
So now up will be the number 6 batter, the shortstop, Madison Ellis. Ellis looks like she's a slap hitter. Digs in, takes that first pitch outside for a ball. 4-0 is your score here. Indians leading it in the top of the second. 1-0 pitch coming from Springfield, and it's outside, missing for a ball. Looks like she just kind of bailed out on that pitch there for a second. Couldn't get the control over it, and now the count goes 2-0. This is Ellis at the plate. And that pitch across for a strike. 2-1 now goes the count here on Madison Ellis. Kelsey Turnbow, the third baseman, on deck for Jackson State. 1 out, nobody on. 2-1, nice pitch that time. Just took a little bit off of it. Batter way ahead of that one, and now evens the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody on here for Jackson State. Springfield looking for her third strikeout of the game. And there it is. No, my goodness. Once again, the umpire just not liking anything at the knees today. So now the count goes full at 3-2. So Springfield have to battle back here. 3-2 pitch coming. This pitch fouled back and will stay full. See a few fans out there in left field. A little late to the ball game. If they were out there earlier, would have been hit by that 2-run home run in the bottom of the first by Meg Sullivan. That was highlighted by a couple other runs behind her, and the Indians lead it 4-0 now. 3-2 pitch coming from Springfield. Fouled back and will stay at 3-2 again. Well, you can tell it's early in the season. A lot of these fans that have some of the RBI seats below us still jumping. Not used to that ball coming back off the net. Kind of that self-defense mode. So the count full here for Springfield, battling with Madison Ellis. Springfield set to deliver. This pitch fouled off again and will stay at 3-2. So a battle going between Springfield and Ellis with 1 out in the inning. Count is full at 3-2. Springfield trying to find a way to win this battle here. 3-2 pitch coming from Bailey. On its way, ground ball, foul ball. Let's do it all over again. This is about the 8th. That was the 8th pitch of this at bat. So this has been a battle right here. Credit Ellis being able to battle back, find a way for the count to go full. Now trying to find a way to win this at bat. Springfield trying to dig in deep here for the Indians and get that second out of the inning. 3-2 pitch coming from Springfield. And it hit her right off the elbow. So after a 9-pitch at bat, Ellis took it off her elbow that time. Luckily, she's got a lot of real big padding on her elbow. She really didn't try to move to get out of the way that time, but it kind of didn't really lean into it either. See, former ICC All-American, 3-time All-American, Mamie Hollandhead has made her way out to the ballpark this afternoon. So with 1 out and a runner on first, Kelsey Turnbow will dig in here. Springfield getting set to deliver. Turnbow lifts one out to right field. The right fielder just makes a baby step in and gets the put out. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's what you like if you're a pitcher. And now there's 2 away in the inning with a runner on first. And this will be Turrentine, Marissa Turrentine, coming to the plate.
Number 22, Marissa Turrentine.
We apologize if that's not the correct way to say her last name. Springfield checks the runner at first. Actually not. She's getting the call from the dugout. A pitch out, snap throw down. Oh, thank goodness she has that mask on her helmet, as the ball came off the mask of the base runner when she slid in. And that pitch a ball. They pitch out that time by the Indians, see if they couldn't catch Jackson State trying to gamble there. Runner does go this time, but the foul ball, and she'll have to come back. Well, you do have some speed on the bases, and Madison Ellis talked about it. She's a slap hitter and had a pretty good jump on the pitch that time. But the foul ball brings her back. 1-1 is the count. 2 outs, 4-0 ICC with the lead here in Game 1 against Jackson State. 1-1 pitch coming from Springfield. Swung on, missed, couldn't catch up with it that time. And 1-2 now goes the count. Wind starting to pick up a little bit more here in the top of the second, blowing more true to center field to right field than it was earlier. It's kind of blowing in the park, which makes that home run by Meg Sullivan even more impressive as it was into the wind. Runner goes, pitches high, snap throw down. Just missed her that time. 2-2 is the count. Good shot by Conley. Just great speed over there by Ellis to beat the tag. And she moves into scoring position. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the second, Deuces Wild. ICC leads it 4-0. And this pitch lifted. Shallow, though. And it's going to be squeezed by Rachel Sternisha at shortstop to get the 3rd out of the inning.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to remind you, ICC softball will be back in action at home.
No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base, and that was in scoring position. ICC leads it 4-0. We're going to step away and come back with the bottom of the second right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. And welcome back to action now as we shift to the bottom of the second inning. Good to see Mamie Hollandhead in the house today. Coming back to support the girls here on a Saturday. It'll be the 9-1-2 batters due up here for the Indians in the bottom of the second. Corey Childs, the center fielder, will start things off here for ICC. Then it'll be Hannah Williams and Sam Conley. That pitch high for a ball. So that pitch high for a ball. Corey looks at that one low for a ball. So right now, Young trying to find her zone. Couldn't do anything. He's going to go the dirt and try to get her hands to a little bit of a better release. So 2-0 is the count here. Inside, almost hits her. And now the count goes 3-0 on Childs. So Corey, 3-0. Waiting the pitch here. Figures she's going to hold off the whole way. That one right down Main Street for a strike. 3-1 now is the count. 3 balls, 1 strike, no outs. Leadoff batter here in the bottom of the second, Corey Childs. And she takes that for ball 4. So Childs will jog down to first. That is the second walk of the game issued by Kristen Young. And now we go back to the top of the lineup here. This will be Hannah Williams. Williams in her first at bat of the day. Grounded out to the pitcher. That was to start the contest back in the bottom of the second. 4-0 is your score. ICC with the lead. Williams takes a look at that one. Childs slides in safely to second. The ball gets away, but a nice job that time by the second baseman backing up the shortstop covering on the throw. And the stolen base by Corey Childs moves her into scoring position. So runner now on second. There's no outs. That pitch, a ball to Hannah Williams. And then Williams swings on this one, fouls it out of play, evens the count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs, runner on second. 4-0 is your score here. Awaiting the pitch, sets up on the outside. Couldn't get her to chase one. 2-1 now goes the count here on Hannah Williams. So waiting the pitch here is Williams, the left fielder. In the dirt, 3-1 goes the count here on Williams. So waiting, or excuse me, they're actually going to say it's 2-2. So 2-2 is the count here. Williams, slow roller to the pitcher, going to have to hurry. Does so, gets her by a step, but it does advance the runner there. Second time that Hannah Williams has grounded out back to the pitcher. So score that one 1-3 for those of you scoring at home watching Let'sGoICCTV.com. You know, I say that, and I've been broadcasting baseball, 22 years. Wow. Started when I was 15, if that tells you how old I am. And I've been doing it, saying for those scoring at home, I wonder if anybody actually still scores baseball or softball at home, other than us old school folks. I'll say a shout out to Brother Chris, bringing up some Powerade. Of course, he's the director at the ICC BSU. They meet Monday nights at 7:07 as that pitch across for a strike. They also meet Wednesdays at lunch. And as soon as I talk about lunch, he brings me food. But I have to be honest with you, I'm doing a lot better, cutting back on some sweets, so I do appreciate that, though, as that looked really good. That pitch across for a strike. But they meet Wednesdays at noon for the ICC BSU luncheon. All they ask is you bring $2 and a friend, and why not just be a good person, treat your friends for lunch, bring them $2 as well. And wow, just painted the corner all around the world that time, and Conley goes down looking on strikes, 2 away.
And to the plate for the Lady Indians, number 15, Meg Sullivan.
Now up will be number 15, Meg Sullivan. And the coach wants to talk over this one on how they want to approach Meg Sullivan. Last time Meg was at the plate, Well, she touched them all. She blasted a no-doubter out to left center. And it gave the Indians a 2-0 lead. And then Mackenzie Piper came across and scored on a ground out by JoJo Vasquez. And then Bailey Springfield, the pitcher here in Game 1, scored when Brittany Adams reached on an error. That was your scoring so far in the contest. 4-0 is the score here between ICC and Jackson State. That scoring update being brought to you by Sonic here in Fulton. I'm going to try to read this because a lot of times I get my tongue twisted trying to remember it. If I can find it in my text messages. Either way it goes, Meg digs in, takes that first pitch a little low at the knees for a ball. Yeah, the Twisted Pretzel for only $1.99. That's the special going on right now at Sonic. That changeup that time kind of froze up Sullivan. Snuck that pitch in. 1-1 now is the count with 2 outs and a runner on third. Also, don't forget, you get a junior double cheeseburger and medium tots for $2.99. They still have the little chickies, little doggies going at Sonic. Ground ball, and Sullivan kind of slid a little early that time coming out of the box as she tripped and fell and score that 4-3 on the putout. So the Indians get no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We played 2, ICC 4, Jackson State nothing. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Wamba Community College presents the 22nd Annual Bluegrass and Gospel Concert benefiting the ICC Foundation on Saturday, March 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. This year's performers include the Isaacs, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Aaron Wilburn, Christy Miller, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. $20 general admission and $30 reserved seating can be purchased online at iccms.edu/concert. Doors open at 2, music starts at 4. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 862-8039. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on Saturday, March 3rd in Fulton.
Ever since you got that license, you've been on the move. We get it. With Student Checking, we have the tools to keep you going. Take care of that check from grandma without stopping at the bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And we'll even pay you back for ATM fees. So keep on going, and we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back to action now as we move to the top of the third inning. ICC leading 4-0. Amanda Newsom checking in on Twitter. Of course, that's the mom of Shelby Newsom, who was shaken up in the first series of the year with a twisted ankle. Hope to be able to get her back soon here for the Indians. It'll be the 9-1-2 batters due up here for Jackson State, and this will be Peyton Holland, the right fielder, to lead things off for the Generals. Of course, Jackson State got a minor league team up there, also believe called the Generals, as there's a swinging strike one. That pitch inside for a ball. This is Holland's first at bat. Then we'll go back to the top of the lineup with Allie Turner. Ground ball. What a play there by Bailey Springfield. Look what I found. And the toss over to first in time for the putout. Nice job that time defending a position by Springfield. If that doesn't get caught, then that's down for a base hit right up the middle.
Number 7, Allie Turner.
First assist of the day. Actually, the first ground ball this afternoon that's been recorded for a putout. And now we go back to the top of the lineup in Allie Turner. Turner takes a look at that pitch, a little high for a strike, or excuse me, for a ball. Nobody on, one out. Infield in here with Turner, who is a slap hitter. Takes a look at that one. Wow. Good looking pitch that time, and that umpire just not really too consistent on that outside pitch. Kristen Young got it a couple of times. Actually got it twice in that Sam Connolly strikeout. And that one was more outside than the last one. And there's a makeup call for a strike. So at least he saw it. 2-1 now is the count. 1 out. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Left side of the infield, Vasquez charging in. No idea where that pitch was, but the umpire said it was a ball. So 3-1 now is the count. A good-looking pitch on that last one. This pitch fouled off. And the count now goes full here to Turner. So 3-2 is the count. Springfield getting the call from the dugout now. Toes the rubber, set to deliver. And misses her. Walks her, that one low for a ball. First walk of the afternoon for Springfield. Second free pass as she hit
Number 2, Michelle
Madison Ellis back in the second. Now what will be Michelle Donner. Donner struck out swinging in her first at bat. That was the back in the first inning. We'll dig in with 1 out and a runner on. An ICC leading 4-0 here in the top of the third. Pitch low for a ball. So 4-0 is the count here. Or excuse me, is the score. 1-0 is the count. Set pitch inside for a ball. And so 2-0 is the count. 1 out and a runner on first. That runner at first is Allie Turner. She goes. Ripped down the line, but foul. Boy, I tell you what, good call that time by Jackson State on the hit and run. She could have kept that one fair down the line. That would have easily scored Turner from first, as she was about 3 steps away from second by the time the ball was called foul. So 2-1 now is the count. Runner kind of went this time, almost as if she was trying to distract the pitcher. 2-2 now is the count here on Donner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and a runner on first here from Jackson State. We're in the top of the third inning. ICC leading this one 4-0 here in game 1 of 2 this afternoon in Fulton. 2-2 pitch coming. Couldn't catch up with it, throw it down, and not in time. Just missed the tag. So a stolen base for Turner. The throw was in time. The tag, as the throw was a little up the line, the tag was off that time. That was the third Little Caesar strikeout of the game for Bailey Springfield. And now there's 2 outs. And Gracie Emerson. Emerson, the owner of the only hit this afternoon off of Springfield. That was a single back in the first. Nice pitch across for a strike. 0-1 now is the count. Runner on second, that's Turner. Springfield get a little bit more methodical as she works inside the circle, not as much as a hurry. This pitch fouled back, rise ball. tip back for strike 2. As we said, Emerson, the DP, singled in her first at bat, left stranded at first. ICC trying to get out of a slight jam here in the top of the 3rd. Set up on the outside just to see if she can get her to chase one. Did not. 1-2 now is the count with 2 outs and 1 on. Remind you, at the conclusion of Game 1, we'll stop the broadcast here on Let'sGoICCTV.com, the Blue Channel, and then come back right before the opening pitch of Game 2. This pitch, nicely done that time by Emerson, just to reach out and find a piece of that one, as she was looking for something totally different that time, but fouled it off to keep the at-bat alive. So the 1-2 pitch coming from Springfield, 2 outs. This pitch popped up and it's going to get out of play. And we'll stay at 1-2. Nice at bat right now by Gracie Emerson. Jackson State has done a good job this afternoon so far when they get behind in counts, able to foul pitches off and keep the at-bats alive. Looks like ICC's got a couple of pitchers, maybe just tossing a little bit to get warm. Looks like Mackenzie Toombs is one of them and maybe Macy Cox the other. So that pitch missing low and inside, evens the count now at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second. We're in the top of the 3rd inning here in Game 1. Good crowd. It was a little sparse to start when the opening pitch, but has filled in nicely as the afternoon has continued. 2-2 pitch coming from Springfield. Pitch popped up and out of play, and we'll stay at 2-2 yet again. Got to get some more softballs into the game here. Remind you, our next broadcast, well, it won't be athletic based. Well, I guess, yeah, the next one will, because that'll be our Monday talk show. But Tuesday night, we'll have the ICC Most Beautiful pageant coming your way on the Red Channel. That's starting at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, Raphael? 7 o'clock. Few tickets still remain for the Most Beautiful pageant. You can order those at iccms.edu/tickets. Want to get those in a hurry. If you can't make it, you can watch it on the Red Channel Tuesday night at 7. Swinging, strike 3, and that will end it. The 4th strikeout of the game being brought to you by Little Caesars. Back-to-back strikeouts for Bailey Springfield. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. We'll step away and come back with the bottom of the 3rd inning right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen. Getting set for the bottom of the 3rd inning. ICC leads Game 1 over Jackson State 4-0. It'll be Mackenzie Piper, Bailey Springfield, and JoJo Vasquez due up here for the Indians in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Change up, and it was a beauty as it dropped right across the letters that time for strike one. Well, if you don't watch a lot of softball and you're tuning in, a changeup in softball is just a beautiful pitch, and it can really handcuff some batters, especially when you get it working well. I remember former Lady Indian Rebecca Sloan really had a nasty changeup to go along with a pretty good little fastball she had. And when she was on that changeup pitch, she was next to it, hard to touch. But you see that pitch there? Sometimes when you go that changeup, it tends to hang up on you. That one did that time. But at the same time, if a strong batter can pick up on your changeup, boy, they can take you for a ride. Fastball grounded to the shortstop. Gloves it cleanly. Throws a little low, but a nice pick that time over at first. Score that one 6-3 on the putout of Piper, the first time she's been retired this afternoon. Now up is going to be the pitcher, Bailey Springfield. She singled, scored on an error, a two-out error. That was part of a 4-run first inning, and she's going to try to come in and help her own cause here. That pitch missing for a ball. I was looking down, but I heard some chuckles over here out of Raphael and brother Chris. They're thinking that one was a strike, so a break there for the Indians. Springfield rips one, but a line drive right to a third baseman. As that was a shot that time, the third baseman just almost went in self-defense mode more than anything to get that glove up and find it. So this is going to be JoJo Vasquez. Vasquez grounded out 6-3, or to the shortstop in her previous at bat, but it was a productive one as she pushed across a run. That pitch missing a little high and outside for a ball. There's 2 outs here in the inning. 1-0 is the count. 4-0 is your score, ICC, in the bottom of the third. Vasquez, chopper, shortstop, nice play. Throw over just in time. Vasquez showing off a little bit of speed over there, trying to get down to first, but just gets beat by a step. Second time it's been a 6-3 put out in the inning. 3 up, 3 down go the Indians there in the bottom of the third. 4-0 is your score. We're going to step away and let you know how you can order tickets to this year's ICC Gospel Bluegrass Concert and hear a word from Food Giant. And we'll be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Itawamba Community College presents the 22nd Annual Bluegrass and Gospel Concert benefiting the ICC Foundation on Saturday, March 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. This year's performers include the Isaacs, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Aaron Wilburn, Christy Miller, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. $20 general admission and $30 reserved seating can be purchased online at iccms.edu/concert. Doors open at 2, music starts at 4. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 862-8039. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on Saturday, March 3rd in Fulton.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back to action now as we move to the top of the 4th inning. ICC with a 4-0 lead here in Game 1 over Jackson State. It'll be the 4, 5, 6 batters due up here for Jackson State. Pitcher Kristen Young will lead things off. She struck out to end the first in her first at bat. Nice little looping off-speed pitch in there, across for a strike. It'll be Young, Pratt, and Ellis all due up here in the top of the 4th. That pitch just a little outside, evens up the count now at 1-1. Remind you, Lee Adams, which, by the way, is Lee Adams' birthday. So happy 56th birthday to Lee Adams. He's taking photos for ICCimages.com. Going the extra mile working on his birthday. So that's going to be a foul ball out of play. You can order photos from today's games or any events through the past years on ICCimages.com. $1 downloads. Count is 1 and 2 here on Kristen Young. So Springfield getting set to deliver the 1-2 pitch. Beauty, strike 3. Back-to-back-to-back strikeouts. That time the first one looking this afternoon. The 5th strikeout of the game being brought to you by Little Caesars right here in Fulton. Bailey Springfield starting to settle in here midway through the contest. And now up is going to be Holly Pratt. So 1 out. Pratt will dig in. She popped up in foul territory. It was a put out by Springfield on the last pitch. That one's going to be foul for a ball. Or should be foul for a strike. I was writing down my stats over here. So 0-1, 1 out. That pitch hangs up high for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. So 1-1 is the pitch, 1 out. Nobody on. That pitch up high. Springfield looks like he's trying to put a little too much on it right now, as that one makes the count go 2-1. This pitch popped back out of play. 2-2 now goes the count. So this is Pratt at the plate with a 2-2 count. 1 out, nobody on. Top of the 4th. ICC leading 4-0. That pitch inside gets away. And 3-2 now goes the count. Just one of those, the ball just came out of her hand a little too early that time. Good job by Pratt. She didn't really make an effort to get out of the way. She was trying to take one for the team, but then thought about taking one right in the ankle at the last second. Kind of dipped out of the way. So 3-2 is the count here for Springfield. The pitch is coming. Swung on, strike 3. Nice job by Sam Conley to hang on to that tip ball. And that's going to be the 6th strikeout of the day for Bailey Springfield. We talk about strikeouts. Of course, we talk about Little Caesars here in Fulton. $5 hot and ready pizza. Waiting on you, single topping pizza there. Located right next to Food Giant here in Fulton. That pitch missing outside, low for a ball. So 4 straight strikeouts for Bailey Springfield. 1-0 pitch coming from Springfield. That one on the corner. Nice frame job that time by Sam Conley, as that one was a little outside on the corner, but Conley just did a beautiful job framing that one up for the strike call. This is Madison Ellis. Ellis had a nice at-bat, 9 pitches before she got hit by a pitch. As that pitch missing low for a ball. 2-1 now is the count. Ellis stole a base and was left stranded at second. She's been the only, or excuse me, they've had 2 runners in scoring position. Thought about it that time, and good looking pitch, but as we said, just a little low. The strike zone's about 3 inches above the knees this afternoon, if not a little bit more. 3-1 now goes the count here on Ellis. Figure the red light is on here for Ellis in this 3-1 situation. And it was, as that one went right down Broadway for a strike. 3-2 now is the count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Springfield trying to strike out the side, and a looper to the shortstop. Sternisha tosses it over, and not in time. Just deep enough in the hole for Ellis to leg that one out. She's got pretty good speed over there. Second hit of the day, as it was a diving Vasquez who could not get to it at third. Stranisha found it deep in the hole at short, tossed it over, but bang bang play goes in the way of Jackson State. Probably the right call with the speedy Ellis over there now standing on first. So Turnbow, the third baseman for Jackson State, will dig in with 2 outs and 1 on base. Indians going to have to be careful here. And she goes. Throw down is going to be high, not in time. Second stolen base. Well, I'll tell you what, Ellis, a lot like Corey Childs for ICC. If you're going to throw her out at second, it's got to be just about a perfect throw. So 0-1 is the count here. Runner at second, 2 outs. This pitch off the fist towards the ICC dugout. And the count now goes 0-2. So 0-2 is the count. Pitch coming. Right at the knees, inside. No, did not want to give her that strike 3 call. Ball 1. So 1-2 is the count with 2 outs as the sun's starting to come out here in Fulton this afternoon. Hopefully to warm things up for those fans out there. Hard hit, fly ball to right center. Brittany Adams is going to go back. It's going to bounce off the fence, and it'll be a 2-out double. Kelsey Turnbow coming in with a clutch hit that time. And the first run of the season given up by ICC. 4-1 now is the score.
Number 22, Marissa Turrentine.
So Turrentine will come to the plate with 2 outs and a runner on second. That was Madison Ellis, who singled, stole a base, scored on that double by Turnbow. 4-1 now is your score. Turrentine popped up to short, just about a step or 2 into the grass in her previous at bat to end the second. Swings on the first pitch she sees. Vasquez slings it across the way. Nice stretch over at first to get the put out. So 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base.
ICC softball will be back in action at home on Wednesday.
And we'll move now to the bottom of the 4th inning. ICC leads it 4-1.
Our assistant sports information director, Mr. Lee Adams. Today is Lee's birthday. He's the big guy with the big camera down there. That's not a bazooka, that is a camera. So we want to wish him. Lady Indian.
And welcome back to action now as we get set to move to the bottom of the 4th inning. This will be Brittany Adams coming to the plate. Jackson State got a run in the top part of the inning. The Indians trying to answer back here in the bottom. They scored 4 in the bottom of the first and have been quiet ever since. That first pitch across for a strike. This is Kristen Young still in the circle here for Jackson State in Game 1. We do want to remind you at the conclusion of Game 1, we'll have our Renaissance Bank postgame report and then step away for about 20 to 30 minutes and come back with the start of Game 2 here on Let'sGoICCTV.com, the Blue Channel. We talked about the photos from Lee on ICCimages.com. Raphael Henry up here shooting highlights that you can visit on our YouTube page. Just search Let's Go ICC on YouTube. You can see a lot of the great work Raphael does there, not only for athletics, also for the academic side of things as well. So 2-1 now is the count here on Brittany Adams, the leadoff batter. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 batters due up here for the Indians. In the bottom of the fourth, that pitch missing low and outside. 3-1 now goes the count here on Brittany Adams. Adams, the right fielder. That pitch just missing outside, and that's a ball. So Adams, for the second time today, will reach. This time on a walk, she reached on an error in her first at bat. Now up will be Madison Carnes. Carnes struck out in her first at bat. Brittany Adams reaches on that walk, and that first pitch low for a ball. So Young struggling to find the zone here. So Madison Carnes, the sophomore out of Ecru, stands in, takes that one for a ball. Adams has to get back in a little bit more of a hurry next time over there at first, as that snap throw down from the catcher was almost in time. Kristen Young getting the Texas A&M treatment. Don't know if anybody's familiar with A&M baseball. There's a bunt, and she's safe. Call that a sacrifice bunt. And an E3 on the play as the first baseman, or actually E4. E4 as the second baseman was covering. She just came off the bag. That sacrifice bunt being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union, reminded you of the ultimate sacrifice paid for our sins. If you're an ICC student, or really it's open to anybody. I know we get invited all the time, just unfortunately can't make it. But if you're an ICC student, Brother Chris invites you to come worship at Monday nights at 7:07. Also Wednesdays at lunch. $2 at a friend. I know they had, I think, Taco Bell last week. Rick's Barbecue. They have all kinds of food. And I tell you what, folks, it's the deal of the day. $2. If you bring a friend, you bring $2 for them, $4. Or if you got a girlfriend, Valentine's Day coming up. I think that's on a Wednesday. There's you a date idea. Take your girlfriend out to lunch for $2. Can't beat it. Raphael, call Michelle. Treat her to lunch on Valentine's Day at the ICC BSU luncheon. Let's go back to action. 2-0 is the count. Bunt laid down nicely that time. Throw over to third. Is it in time? No. And they're going to say, good job by Brittany Adams. She came off the base, was able to get her foot back. The tag was not applied in time. The infield umpire said she came off the bag when she grabbed the ball. And this is going to draw an argument out of the Jackson State coach, as he's going to come over and talk this one over. And that's going to be officially a fielder's choice on the play. They're going to appeal to home, but really there's no way the home plate umpire can see from that point of view. So if they overrule this one, there's really no way they can do it. So the infield umpire is going to come to talk to the Jackson State coach. And probably that's what he's probably saying. Listen, that's not his bag. He didn't have the angle to see it. So, bases loaded for the Indians. This is Hannah Williams. She is 0 for 2 on the day, but my, oh my, what an opportune time to come in with her first base hit. Takes that first pitch high for a ball. Bases loaded, full of Indians. And whenever I say bases loaded, it's also full of speed. Corey Childs at first, Madison Carnes at second, Brittany Adams at third. First pitch missed for a ball, second pitch missing low and outside for a ball. Snap throw down to third. Brittany slid back to second. Looked like she didn't have much of a slide. That ground just grabbed her that time. "2-0 is the count. That pitch, hey, looking for those, whatever the girls in blue and gray are throwing them. 2-1 now is the count. On Williams. That pitch missing low for a ball. A little bit of pressure getting to Christian Young here. As now 3-1 is the count on Hannah Williams. Figure the red light's on here for Hannah. See if you can't get the easiest RBI of your career here, Hannah. Instead, that one across for a strike, so now Hannah's going to come back and protect the plate. There's no outs. Bases loaded here. 3-2 is the count. Hannah Williams digging in. Takes that pitch high for a ball and will push him around. So a bases loaded walk, the easiest RBI of the career of Hannah Williams. Will score Brittany Adams. I'm just letting you guys enjoy this song. I said it in the first series of the year. I'll probably say it every time Sam Connolly comes to bat. This is absolutely my favorite walk-up song. And I'm not even from Louisiana, folks. I'm from Mississippi. Substitution into the game here. We'll have a pitching change. So we're going to step away and hear a few words from our sponsors and come back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
Itawamba Community College presents the 22nd Annual Bluegrass and Gospel Concert benefiting the ICC Foundation on Saturday, March 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. This year's performers include the Isaacs, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Aaron Wilburn, Christy Miller, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. $20 general admission and $30 reserved seating can be purchased online at iccms.edu/concert. Doors open at 2, music starts at 4. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 862-8039. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on Saturday, March 3rd in Fulton.
Ever since you got that license, you've been on the move. We get it. With Student Checking, we have the tools to keep you going. Take care of that check from grandma without stopping at the bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And we'll even pay you back for ATM fees. So keep on going, and we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back as Pratt will move from second to pitcher now. Bases loaded. We also had a pitch runner come in during that exchange as well. Haley Reed, also known as Boots, coming in to run at first for Hannah Williams. That pitch missing low and outside. 2-0 now is the count. Tough situation for Holly Pratt to come into. No outs. Bases full of Indians. Conley takes that pitch outside, but called a strike. 2-1 now is the count. Trying to see who moved into second base, but every time she turns around, her hair's in the way of her number. That pitch, carbon copy of the last one, called a ball. 3-1 now is the count. And that pitch missing low. So back-to-back walks now, and the Indians have pushed across a pair of runs. Second time today that Conley has been walked. And then here comes Meg Sullivan. 6-1 now is your lead. Boy, would love to see a repeat of her first at bat of the day when she had a 2-run home run. Takes that pitch inside for a strike. Still no outs in the inning. The ICC's pushed across 2 runs, bases loaded. That pitch falls off the table just a little too soon for Pratt. Evens the count now at 1-1. You've got Conley at first, Boots at second, and Childs is at third. Childs had to score her easy. There's one, can't turn 2, so they get the fielder's choice. And that gets Conley. Score that one 6-4 on the fielder's choice. But still pushes across a run, makes it 7-1 now, and now it will be Mackenzie Piper. So 1 out in the inning. And Piper will dig in. Piper takes a look at that one. Throw is cut off by the shortstop, trying to see if they were going to gamble. Did not. Sullivan will take and move to second. So you've got runners in scoring position here with 1 out. That first pitch called a ball. Piper swings on this one. Oh, just hopping on the wrong side of the bag there at third. If that one stays fair, that's scoring 2 runs. So 7-1 is your score. Another thing you got to keep in mind here, 0-2. 0-2 goes to count. If the ball gets away, Haley Reed's got enough speed down at third to score. Ground ball gets through. 1 run will score, and they're going to hold Meg Sullivan at third. Second hit of the day for Piper, her first RBI, and the Indians now go up 8-1. That scored Boots from third. And for the second inning today, the Indians have put a 4 spot on the board. And now the pitcher, Bailey Springfield, coming to the plate. Getting plenty of run support this afternoon. Could really help her own cause with another base hit here. Piper over at first. Runners on first and third. Springfield swings on the first pitch she sees. Ahead of that one, fouls it off for strike 1. So Springfield could really come in here in a big-time situation. She's 1 of 2 this afternoon. She has scored a run. She singled. Her last time up, she lined out to third. So 1 out. Runners on the corners here for the Indians. Ripped, and that gets through. And that'll push it across for the 9th run of the game. And the second hit of the day. RBI pushes across Meg Sullivan. And so now the Indians have a 9-1 lead here. Runners on first and second. Vasquez 0 for 2 in the afternoon, but does have an RBI. So 1 out. Vasquez has grounded out 6-3 in both of her at-bats. That first pitch across for strike 1. Throw down to second, not in time. I don't know if even they would have put the tag on her that time if they wouldn't have called runner interference on the shortstop. Looks like we're going to have a change here with the runner at first. Springfield, so she gets a courtesy runner who is wearing a hoodie. That's going to be Lily Moore, number 13.
Running at first base for the Lady India, Lulu Moore.
Lily Moore comes in as a courtesy runner for the Indians. That first pitch goes for a ball. Second one inside, but a nice little tailing action back away from the batter for strike 2. 0-2 now is the count. There is 1 out in the inning. Runners on first and second here for ICC. They've hanged 5 on the board so far. Ground ball to the second baseman. Boots it. And the bobble at second. Well, it's an error. It's just who do you want to put it on? The second baseman bobbled to start with. The throw was in time, but we're going to put E4. And so a new batter coming in here for the Indians. And this is going to be number 30, Macy Cox.
Number 30, Macy Cox.
Well, the Indians have batted around here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The merry-go-round, she's a spinning. The ICC leads it 9-1, 1 out. Bottom of the fourth. Indians trying to build on this lead. Cox stands in, takes that first pitch high. 4 ball. Snap, throw down to third, not in time. Macy, a freshman out of Troy, Tennessee. Listed as an infield pitcher for the Indians. Takes that pitch across for a strike, even the count now at 1-1. (9-1) is your score. Rip, third baseman finds it, steps on the bag, and the throw over, not in time. But they do get the force.
ICC.
And the run scores. So that's going to be 5 unassisted on the putout. Moore retired, the courtesy runner, but an RBI, though, for Cox. 10-1 now is your score with 2 outs. Going to have a substitution back into the game as Brittany Adams, who was batted for, will check back into the contest.
Brittany Adams. And to the plate for the Lady Indians, number 3, Olivia Burns.
And this is going to be Olivia Burns coming into bat here for the Indians. Takes that first pitch across for a strike. Runners on first and second here for the Indians, 2 out. Olivia Burns, the scheduled Game 2 starter. She's a freshman out of Grenada. 10-1 ICC with the lead. Foul back, 0-2 now is the count here on Burns. Oh, 2 outs. ICC leads it 10-1 after hanging 6 runs so far on the board here in the bottom of the fourth. Ground ball, shortstop gets it. Delay on the throw, but in time. And score that one 6-3 for those of you scoring at home. Big inning for the Indians. ICC gets 6 runs on 2 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left on base. We're going to step away and come back with the top of the 5th inning. ICC 3 outs away from calling it ball game early here in Game 1 against Jackson State. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 10-1 is your score. We're going to reset your defensive Coca-Cola lineup here in a moment. Has some defensive changes for the Indians. So it's going to be Peyton Holland. Swings on the first pitch she sees. Fly ball out to center field. And that's going to be the put out. First out. One pitch, one out here. Indians 2 outs away from calling it a day here in game 1. Inside the circle, Bailey Springfield. Behind the plate is Samantha Conley. Over at first is Olivia Burns. Second baseman, that's going to be Rachel Stranisha. Shortstop is Haley Reed. Third base, still JoJo Vasquez. Looks like out there in left field, that's Piper now, moving from first out to left field. Center fielder, Corey Childs. And out in right field is Brittany Adams. That is your Coca-Cola defensive lineup here for the Indians in the top of the 5th. That pitch sliding in the back door for a strike. 1-1 now is your count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And the leadoff batter, Turner, at the plate. She walked in her last at-bat, stole a base, was left stranded in scoring position. In her first at-bat of the day, she flew out to left. Springfield with the 2-1 pitch coming. This one fouled back out of play. 2-2 now is the count. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Springfield trying to go the distance here in game 1. 10-1 is your score. Indians with the lead here in game 1 over Jackson State. Line drive right back up the middle. Nice at bat that time by Turner. Just found a way to win that battle. And muscled one past Springfield right back up the middle. And that's a 1-out single. And now up this will be Michelle Donner coming to the plate here. She is the catcher. So she'll dig in with 1 out and 1 on here in the top of the 5th, 10-1. ICC with the lead. Change up that hung up that time. Conley steers the runner back to first. Donner on the day, 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Pops this one a mile high. Vasquez steps underneath it, squeezes it for the putout, out number 2. Good communication that time, as you heard, I don't know if you heard it over the broadcast, but Vasquez loudly calling off Boots over at short, but Boots doing a good job of letting her know where she was to avoid the collision that time. Vasquez, I've got that as her first put out of the game. 2 outs now. Swing on the first pitch, and the infield was shifted, and she basically put them where they ain't that time. As the second hit of the inning now has runners at first and second. And a new batter coming in here for Jackson State. This is going to be number 34 digging in, and she will replace Kristen Young, who was actually replacing the circle.
Jackson State, number 34, Allie Torres.
So this is going to be Torres coming to the plate here. Jackson State trying to rally here. The mercy rule after 5 is 8. The Indians lead it by 9. So Torres batting in place of Kristen Young, who was 0 for 2 on the day with a pair of strikeouts. Torres takes that first pitch high and outside for a ball. 2 outs, 2 on. Here in the top of the 5th, game 1 between ICC and Jackson State. Pitch coming. This one pops straight back and out of play over the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. A couple of fans out there with the dogs. The dog tried to retrieve the foul ball that time. Just couldn't quite get to it quick enough. So Torres now with a 1-1 count. Runners on first and second. Bailey set to deliver the pitch inside, and it's a beautiful one. That pitch just looked like it turned over at the last second and drifted into the strike zone away from the batter. Nice job of just freezing the batter. For strike two, 1-2 now is the count. 1-2 pitch coming from Springfield. This pitch foul straight back. Out of play. And we'll stay at 1-2. Torres battling, and such. That's been the case all day for Jackson State. They have made Springfield earn every pitch she's thrown at each at bat. 1-2 pitch coming. It hangs up high. 2-2 now is the count. See if you might chase one out of the strike zone with Torres showing she's got an aggressive bat. So 2-2 now is the count with 2 outs. Springfield's pitch coming. Grounder to the third baseman. Vasquez steps on the bag, and that'll do it. ICC wins game 1 by the final score of 10-1 here over Jackson State. Score that one 5 unassisted for Vasquez. We're going to take a break and come back with the Renaissance Bank postgame report right after this. ICC wins game 1 10-1 over Jackson State.
Ever since you got that license, you've been on the move. We get it. With Student Checking, we have the tools to keep you going. Take care of that check from grandma without stopping at the bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And we'll even pay you back for ATM fees. So keep on going, and we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back to the Renaissance Bank postgame report. Your final score here in Game 1. ICC wins it 10-1 over Jackson State in Game 1. Let's take a look back at tonight's line here for Jackson State. They had 1 run on 5 hits and 3 errors. For ICC, they have 10 runs on 5 hits. I've got the Indians with no errors on the afternoon. So there's your line for Jackson State, 1-5-3 for ICC, 10-5-0. Let's take a look at today's batting for Jackson State. Allie Turner went 1 for 2 with a single, a walk. She stole the base, was left stranded. And then Michelle Donner 0 for 3 on the afternoon with a pair of strikeouts. Gracie Emerson, a nice at bat for Gracie here in Game 1. The DP went 2 for 3 with a strikeout. Kristen Young went 0 for 2 on the day with a pair of strikeouts. And then you had Torres, who had 1 at bat, and that was a ground out to the third baseman to end the contest. Holly Pratt 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. Madison Ellis went 1 for 1 with a base hit, a single, a stolen base, and a run scored. She was also hit by a pitch, stole the base, and was left stranded back in the second. Kelsey Turnbow, she had an RBI double back in the fourth. She went 1 for 2 on the day. Marissa Turrentine went 0 for 2, and then Peyton Holland went 0 for 2 as well. For ICC on the afternoon, it was Hannah Williams going 0 for 2 with a walk. She did push in a run with one of those walks. Her courtesy runner, Haley Reed, scored a run. For Sam Conley, she went 0 for 1 with a pair of walks and an RBI. She scored a run as well. Meg Sullivan on the afternoon went 1 for 3. She had a 2-run home run. She scored 2 runs. She reached on a fielder's choice and also drove in a run. So she had 3 RBIs in the game. Mackenzie Piper, 2 for 3 on the day. She scored 2 runs and had an RBI. Bailey Springfield, the pitcher, doing a nice job this afternoon. She went 2 for 3. She had an RBI and a run scored. JoJo Vasquez, 0 for 3 on the day. She did have an RBI and reached on an error. Brittany Adams, 0 for 1 with a walk. She reached on an error, stole a base, and scored a run. Then you had Macy Cox, who grounded into a fielder's choice, was left stranded, or excuse me, actually Adams came back in to run in that situation, but she did have an RBI. Madison Carnes went 0 for 2. She had, 0 for 1, struck out, then had a sacrifice bunt that she reached on an error and eventually came around to score. Then you had Olivia Burns. She went 0 for 1 on the day. And then Corey Childs 0 for 1 with a walk, stolen base, and a run scored. Our Sonic star of the game, you got to give it to Bailey Springfield. A great day inside the circle and at the plate for Bailey Springfield. She had 6 strikeouts, surrendered 5 hits, and only walked 1. And then at the plate, as we said, went 2 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. Well, that's going to do it for the Renaissance Bank postgame report here for Game 1. We're going to break away for about 20 minutes and come back with the start of Game 2. ICC wins the first game of the day by the final score of 10-1 here over Jackson State. Back in 20 minutes here on Let'sGoICCTV.com, the Blue Channel.